Good morning, children. Welcome to English class. Today we will study The Merchant of Venice, Act 1, Scene 3. In this act, we will try to analyze whether Shylock, the Shakespeare character, is actually a sinner or he is sinned against. About the play. In Shakespeare's time, English law continued to forbid Jews from living in England, but a few hundred survived in London and other cities in the guise of Christians. Anti Semitism increased in England around 1190 after non Jews borrowed heavily from Jewish moneylenders. King Richard I, who reigned from 1189 to 1199, put a stop to Jewish persecution, but it returned in the following century during King Edward I's reign from 1272 to 1307. The government required Jews to wear strips of yellow cloth as identification, taxed them heavily, and forbade them to mingle with the Christians. In 1290, Edward banished them from England. Only a few Jews remained behind, either because they had converted to Christianity or because they enjoyed special protection for the service they provided. In Shakespeare's time, 300 years later, anti Semitism remained in force in England. Shakespeare's use of location. Shakespeare has used two imaginary and fictitious towns of Italy. One is Belmont and the other is Venice. We know that Belmont is some distance away from Venice. This means that it takes time for information and indeed for the characters to travel from one location to another. This allows for the possibility of messages arriving late and characters missing one another as they travel to and fro. Shakespeare makes use of this on several occasions in the play. The first instance is here with the first ship's departure being delayed just long enough for the audience to become worried about the fate of Portia. Condition of Shakespeare's England in the mid 1500s. In the mid 1500s, England was under the rule of Queen Elizabeth I. Jews were expelled in the Middle Ages. There was a nationwide conflict between the Catholics and the Protestants. Playwrights like Shakespeare had to be careful not to offend anyone, especially the Queen. The situations were more or less similar to Venice. It was an important European city. It was cosmopolitan and home to many foreigners. The important character in this act are Antonio, a merchant of Venice, Bassanio, Antonio's friend and Portia's suitor, Shylock, a Jewish moneylender, Jessica, Shylock's daughter, Portia, an heiress looking for a husband, Nerissa, Portia's friend and lady in waiting. Religious intolerance can be seen throughout the play against the Jewish people, and it was practiced by rich and wealthy Christians like Antonio. Jewish people were confined to ghetto, which was a gated community, and this forbade the entry of the Jewish people in the main city after sunset. They were treated with little or no respect. They were kicked or spit on. They were cheated and they were forced to wear red caps as identification. Jew in a Christian society. Jewish people were not protected by the law. Jews were considered second class citizens in Venice when Shakespeare wrote the play. Below are some of the laws they had to obey. All Jews must wear distinctive clothing to identify themselves, just like we noticed Shylock wearing the red cap in the previous slide. Citizens of Venice could treat Jews in any way they wished, but Jews were not allowed to retaliate in any way. This is the most inhuman kind of treatment any human being can inflict on other. Jews were not to be involved in the following trades like the military, the government, or the guilds. Jews were victims of prejudice. Christianity was the main religion in Europe at the time of Shakespeare and as a result, a very powerful force. People feared and hated the Jews and did all they could to convert the Jews into Christianity. The basis of this hatred was the fact or the belief in the Christian's mind that Jews were some way or the other responsible for the murder of Jesus Christ. Jewish people were associated with lending money. One of the few ways Jews were allowed to earn a living was to lend money. This was called usury, which allowed the lender to charge interest. Christians, as represented by Antonio in the play, thought this was wicked. It was illegal for Christians to lend money and ask for interest. Despite this, Antonio is seen to be lending money, though he never charged interest. Shylock and Antonio. During the first meeting of Antonio and Shylock, we can deduce the mood and tone of the relationship between the two men. And it is highlighted that these two men they did not nurture a very friendly and cordial relation. The animosity and hatred between the two is clearly visible as Shylock gets a chance to plot against Antonio. Now, children, in groups, you will try to highlight those lines or words in the text which are associated with prejudice, religion, eating, flesh, money, borrowing or lending, and hatred on the basis of religion. Meeting Shylock. Act first, scene 3 is the first time we are introduced to Shylock. It is therefore important that we think of him as a character and explore the way that Bassanio and Antonio interact with him. This will give us clues as to how Shakespeare wanted us to see him. Important plot moments in Act 1. Now, the important plot moments in Act 1 are Antonio's wealth is tied up in his ships sailing for Venice. In the very opening, we are told that Antonio's ships have already left for business purpose and he was in a very gloomy mood. Bassanio has met and fallen in love with a rich heiress. Now, Bassanio has fallen in love with a rich heiress, Portia, who lives in Belmont and who is tied in a contract in a kind of condition which are set up by her father, who is already dead, regarding her marriage. Antonio agrees to borrow money to lend Bassanio to court her. Portia's father has died, leaving her a fortune but at a price. Antonio borrows money from Shylock. The bond is a pound of flesh.